Hello, my friends. Today, we need to have a very serious, very honest conversation about something that is popping up all over the internet, and quite frankly, it has me a little concerned for your hard-earned money. If you are retired, or if you are right on the cusp of retirement, you know that every single dollar counts. You worked 30, 40, 50 years to build your nest egg, and your absolute number one job right now is to protect it. But we live in a digital world, and everywhere you look, there is a new app claiming it can change the way we borrow, the way we invest, and the way we manage our cash. One name that keeps coming up, especially among younger folks, but increasingly among retirees looking for extra income, is a mobile app called Lenme. People are calling it a revolutionary peer-to-peer lending platform. They say it completely cuts out the big banks. It connects people who need to borrow money directly with regular people who want to lend money. If you have extra cash sitting in a savings account earning next to nothing, you look at an app like this and you think, wait a minute. Can I become the banker? Can I lend out $50, $100, $1,000, set my own interest rate, and make a great return to supplement my Social Security? It sounds incredibly enticing, doesn't it? But you must never, ever put your money into something until you understand exactly how it works and, more importantly, how that company makes its money. Because let me tell you, no company operates out of the goodness of their heart. They're in business to make a profit. And if you don't know how they are making their money, you cannot possibly see where the hidden risks are hiding for your money. So today, we are going to pull back the curtain. We are going to look at the exact mechanics of how Lenme makes money, what fears and questions you should have, and the actionable truths you need to know to stay safe. Let's start with the basics so we are all on the same page. Lenme is a peer-to-peer marketplace. If a borrower needs a small loan, anywhere from $50 up to $5,000, they download the app, they link their bank account, and they put a request out into the marketplace. Then investors, which could be institutions, or it could be you sitting at home, look at these requests. Lenme gives the borrower a score based on their income, their cash flow, and their credit history. If you like the profile, you offer them a loan and you choose the interest rate you want to charge. Now, if Lenme isn't a bank and they aren't the ones actually funding the loans, how are they surviving? How are they paying their developers, their marketing teams, and turning a profit? The primary way Lenme makes money is through a recurring subscription model. This is where you have to pay attention. Unlike traditional financial platforms that might charge you a percentage of the assets you manage, or take a massive cut of the loan backend, Lenme charges flat-rate monthly and annual subscriptions just to gain entry to their marketplace. If you want to use the app to borrow, or if you want to use the app to lend, you are looking at paying a monthly fee that usually starts around $1.99 a month, or an annual fee of around $9.99. Let's speak directly to those of you who are thinking about investing your retirement cash on Lenme to get those high interest rates. You have to ask yourself the ultimate question: what happens if the borrower doesn't pay me back? This is the exact point where people get hurt. When you lend money on a peer-to-peer platform, you are taking on individual default risk. Lenme is a matchmaker. They're the digital dating app for your money and a borrower. They provide the credit scores, they provide the AI prediction models, and they provide the platform. But let me be entirely clear with you, Lenme does not guarantee the loan. If a borrower defaults, if they walk away and stop paying, Lenme still keeps the subscription fees they collected from you. They still keep the fee they charged for the predictive tools. Your principal, your hard-earned cash, is what is on the line. You must ask yourself if you have the financial stamina to absorb a total loss on those funds. In retirement, you do not have the time to recover from major financial mistakes. If you lose $5,000 when you are 30 years old, it hurts, but you have decades of paychecks ahead of you to make it up. If you lose $5,000 when you are 70 years old, that is money gone from your daily living expenses, your medical care, and your peace of mind. So, what is the actionable takeaway here? How do you handle this? First, if you are looking at platforms like Lenme as a way to generate passive income in retirement, you must recognize that peer-to-peer lending is not a safe substitute for a high-yield savings account or a certificate of deposit. It is a high-risk, speculative investment. If you decide to try it, you should only ever use money that you can afford to lose completely. It should be mad money, Not your grocery money, not your rent money, and absolutely not your emergency fund. Second, you must look at the total cost of the fees. If you are only investing $50 or $100 at a time, a $2 monthly subscription fee can eat up a massive percentage of your potential returns. You have to run the math. If you are paying $24 a year in subscriptions just to lend out a few $100s, the app is making a guaranteed profit off of you, while you are taking 100% of the risk. My friends, please hear me on this. True financial security in retirement doesn't come from chasing trendy digital apps or trying to become an amateur lending institution from your iPad. It comes from knowing exactly where your money is, keeping it safe from unnecessary risks, and being hyper-aware of every single fee that threatens to drain your accounts. Be smart with your cash. Understand the business model of every app you download. Question the risks, protect your principal, and stand strong in your financial truth. You worked too hard for your retirement to let it be chipped away by subscriptions and unbacked loans. Stay safe, stay informed, and value your security above all else.